Well, just got out in the woods. We're gonna hang a set. Actually came out yesterday and scouted with Clayton and Evan. Found a great tree that we're gonna hang summit stand in today. We're gonna kind of walk you through the process of hanging that stand and explain a little more in detail why we're hanging in this specific area. So we're gonna get everything unloaded. We're gonna pack it up, get to the cedar tree, and get to work. This afternoon, got the interns, Evan and Clayton with me. We're gonna do a little scouting, trying to find a new tree stand location. Last fall, while we were tracking a deer, we came up through this timber on the side of this slope, and there were several flats, and I saw lots of trails. So we're gonna get in there, look for fresh sign, and maybe find a tree that we can hang in and get ready for this fall. Super excited about scouting here. I've looked on the onX map on my desktop and I've kind of got an idea of where I want to start scouting. There's kind of a ridge that kind of just elevator ridge kind of works straight down, and it makes perfect sense because we've hunted in this food plot just to the north here several times, and we've had bucks kind of pop out right here on this southwest corner, and I think they're just working this little elevation change right down in this food plot. So we're going to start right there. We're going to ease up here, start scouting. We got our tracker on. We'll mark some trees with onX, and then probably here soon we'll be hanging a stand if we find a good tree. All right, you guys ready? Yep.
Growing Deer is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Also by Reconics, Eagle Seed, Winchester, Avian X Decoys, Lacrosse Footwear, Morel Targets, Hoyman, Hooks Custom Calls, Summit Tree Stands, RTP Outdoors, Yamaha, Fourth Arrow, onX Hunt, Scorpion Venom Archery, Case IH Tractors, Burris Optics, Blood Sport Arrows, Code Blue, Decode, G5 Broadheads, Prime Bows, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
Just got to the base of the tree and want to take a little time to just kind of break down this setup and explain why we are choosing to hang here and the hunting strategy we'll use for when the conditions are right to slip up into these summits. During the past few hunting seasons, we've made several observations that have made us go, ooh, this may not be a bad spot to get in and scout. To the north and northeast, there's two food plots. There's a food plot we call Back Door. You may recognize Back Door because on that southwest corner, several years ago, we placed a Reconics camera and there were a lot of bucks dumping into that food plot. Based on the Reconics images and videos that we received, we hung a stand in Back Door, hunted it, and had some great hunts. Even encountered a hitless buck we call High Riser last fall. There were obviously a lot of deer and some good bucks using the Back Door food plot. Now just to the northeast here, there's another food plot just down the ridge from Back Door. We call this food plot Bigfoot. Look at that trail right there. Holy moly. That's a highway. Take a look at this, folks. We're right up through there. There is an absolute highway. It runs right down through there, all the way through there. So they're doing exactly what suspected, kind of right here on this little spine. And it's just an easy elevator ridge is what we call it, where they can go from high elevation to low elevation fairly easy. and these deer just working their way up and down this ridge. Of course, they've got a food plot we call back door right up here to the northwest, and just to the east here, Bigfoot. So they can go either way. They're gonna come right down through here. So we're gonna probably walk this trail up and try to find a little flat or something where we can get where the wind's more constant. Right now, you can see back behind me, we're kind of at the lowest point here, and there is a little drainage or draw right here, and the wind would really want to swirl. So we're going to probably go back up here, try to get off to the side here, where we can let thermals come down and suck down the bottom, and where the wind won't want to swirl as much, where we can get in here when the conditions are right. So super excited. Love getting out here and scouting. Never know what you'll find, so we're gonna keep on walking. During the fall of 2017, I was hunting in the Bigfoot food plot, and I harvested a doe early during the morning. I didn't get down out of the stand because a down doe can be a great attractant for a buck, especially during the rut. Around 10:30 or 11, I heard a grunt up on the hill. I hit the messenger grunt call, and a few minutes later, I saw antlers coming down the hill. It was an exciting hunt and a great example of how a harvested deer can be an attractant to other deer. When we started considering our observations from our hunts at Backdoor and Bigfoot, and we put that together with our other trail camera data, we started realizing there was probably a lot of activity in the timber to the south of those food plots.
Oh, there's blood right there.
Last fall, while trailing a deer, we were in this timber and we saw a lot of deer sign. And when we started putting all that information together, we realized it was time to come in, scout, and figure out how we hunt the timber to the south of these food plots. Came out yesterday afternoon and scouted with the interns. All right, this is exactly what I was looking for, waiting for. We've got a fork in the trail. One goes high and one goes low. We were walking on this one that was low. This one that goes high is kind of wrapping around the point here. So we've got two trails coming together. Love that. Looking around, there's actually a heck of a cedar right here that we could hang in. And I'm gonna mark that cedar because I really like it. There's several terrain features in this area that make it an ideal travel corridor for deer. It's very steep out in front of us. We're about 50 or 60 yards to the north. There's kind of an easy elevator ridge, as we call it, that deer can use to go up or down the mountain. Even though it's very steep right here, there's a very small flat. And right on top of this flat is a heavy deer trail. In fact, the trail actually splits right in front of this tree. One of those trails goes high and one trail goes low. I've walked both these trails, and you can see by my tracker, the one that goes high wraps around the point and dumps into Backdoor. The one that goes low, it goes right into Bigfoot. The side of this slope is facing east, so with any west, northwest, or north wind on a cold morning, our wind is actually going to blow back behind us, drop down. Thermals are going to be coming down off the mountain and suck right down the valley below. The only negative to this hunting location is that it's on the east facing slope. So we're only going to be able to come in and hunt very cold mornings with a strong wind, because once the sun comes up and starts warming that air, it's going to want to rise. But we're still going to have cold air that's going to be wanting to sink, so it will just cause a churning or a mixing of the air. Once that happens, we won't be able to effectively hunt without alerting deer, so we'll want to climb down and return once the conditions are favorable. We know from similar setups that our hunting window may only be till about 9 or 9:30, but we're banking on that early morning success. That's the strategy. It's time to get to work and hang the summits. I really like hanging in cedars when it's possible. I will leave these lower cedar limbs and we're gonna go up, and we're probably just gonna kind of cut a hole right up top. And what that does is, especially on this setup where this trail is kind of down below us, it puts that cover right between us and the deer. So we're actually kind of looking over these limbs and seeing the deer, but when the deer are looking up, they've got to look through cedar limbs. So this provides a lot of cover. Cedars are usually pretty straight, so it makes it easy to hang in. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of clean up the back side of this cedar. We'll hang our vine steps up here on the back side, and then come around on the front, kind of make a little hole up in the branches, and that's where we'll hang our stands. You know, most important thing when you're hanging a tree stand is to make sure you're wearing a harness. And I've checked, you know, this harness has been at the barn, you know, I'm checking, making sure all these straps are still good. Another thing I like to do is I like to have 2 lineman ropes. You've probably seen a lineman rope around the waist in the tree so you can work, have your hands free. But something we always run into is there's a limb that you got to go around, and we never want to be unhooked from the tree. So I like to have one around my waist, and I like to have another one available. And what I'll do with that is I'll kind of work it in tandem with the strap in the back, and I'll reach up so I can go around limbs, hook in, be tied in. Then I can take the one off my waist, I can climb up, get around that limb, and then go back to the lineman rope around my waist, so I'm never unhooked from the tree. And I like the straps. I'll kind of start them a little high, I'll tighten them down, and I'll kind of push down, and that just gets them super tight. All right, next one. Make sure that carabiner gets screwed on. All right, next one. Give yourself enough room so you can use your weight to lean back so you can actually work out in front of you. All right, I'm to the height that I want. Kind of cut out a little hole right here where I'm going to set the stand. First thing I'm going to do is I've got my safety line. I'm going to put it up right above here. Now I'm not going to tie into this yet. I'm going to use this to haul up the tree stand once I get the bracket placed here on the tree. So I'll put the bracket up, tie on this safety line, and then I'll haul up the stand and attach the summit to the bracket. Okay, I'm kind of imagining how I want my hunter to sit. I'm hanging 2 stands, one for the hunter and one for the cameraman. All right, first featherweight is up. It's solid. I'm gonna tie in up here. I'm gonna climb in, see what the view is like. Still not tied into the safety line. I'm using my lineman rope that I brought up with me. So this line's still loose, so we can bring up the cameraman stand, see what we got. I gotta tell you, I really like this. This looks good. Got the trail right here. It's an easy chip shot, 10 yards. I can see up above me, there's that flat up there. If I see something up there, we can grunt, bring them down. I'm gonna get the guys going down on the ground, starting on lanes. We'll be really choosy which trees we cut. I'd rather leave a couple things for cover, because once all the leaves are off, it'll be pretty bare out there. But we can get started. It's gonna look good. I can't wait to get up here later this fall. All right, Clayton, see this little oak right here? Well, the guys just finished trimming up all the lanes. We actually didn't cut a lot, just a couple of the big trees right here in front that were blocking our view for either the shot or seen deer coming. So one trail's coming all the way through here, and this trail cuts up. Of course, we've got a bedding area over here. We got food here. So during the pre-rut, bucks are going to be cruising through here. I chose to leave a little more cover out in front of us. The reason being is you can actually see there's another flat up above us, and you can see through there. If we hear or see a buck up there, we can grunt. This cover allows us to have, you know, a block between us and that buck, because that buck's going to be coming down the mountain looking for the buck that he heard that grunt from. So I wanted to leave a little more cover here, so as he's coming down the mountain really searching hard, he's not spotting us in the tree, and we can get ready for whenever he steps out into these shooting lanes. Really excited about this set, and I'm going to climb down, and we're going to do kind of the last few things we got left here to finish her up. Just finished hanging this set. Super excited. Can't wait to hunt it this fall. But we're not quite done. We got one last thing to do. We're going to cut and blow a trail from the base of this tree down the hill. We're not blowing a very large trail, just a walking path. You know, it just helps us be able to see the trail as we walk in the dark, and it's quieter. The leaves aren't on the ground. We're not crunching on them as we're walking up. We can slip in undetected by deer. The Growing Deer team's been hunting at the Proving Grounds for many years, but we're still getting out, we're scouting and finding new hunting locations. No matter how long you've been hunting a property, it's good to get outside, scout, find MRI, the most recent information, and create a hunting plan based on those observations. Whether you're scouting, getting ready for planting season, or just taking a walk, get outside and enjoy creation. But more importantly, slow down, listen to what the Creator's saying to you and the purpose He has for your life. Thanks for watching Growing Deer. Dang.